Good evening, everybody. Wes Davies here. Welcome back to another video, and perhaps more importantly, happy Moon Festival. So today is Moon Festival, and it's one of the long weekends in Taiwan. It's arguably the, I would say, second most important holiday in Taiwan after the Lunar New Year. And again, of course, the Moon Festival revolves around the timing of the lunar cycle as well. So it is a nice, big, full moon tonight. It's a really peaceful, calm evening, I think perfect for a holiday like this. And I just wanted to make this video for you guys today because as a Canadian, we don't have Moon Festival at all. So there's all kinds of stories and traditions and things that go along with Taiwanese culture as well as many other Asian cultures, all surrounding this Moon Festival holiday that I would like to share with you today. And especially for my Canadian viewers or overseas viewers, many of whom probably have never heard of Moon Festival before, I just wanted to maybe help explain this holiday a little bit for all of those foreigners out there who might be curious about what all the fuss is about. Join me. So first and foremost, I would say that Moon Festival revolves around family and families coming together for the long weekend, getting a day off work and choosing to spend time with each other. So often you will see all throughout the city, all throughout Taiwan, you'll see families coming together, grandparents, parents, grandchildren. They'll set up little barbecues on the side of the street, which I think is a really nice thing to do because, you know, we live in a pretty packed and crowded city, and often the only place you could have such a spread, such a barbecue would be really outside your house on the corner or on the sidewalk. So I would actually compare this holiday quite a bit to a holiday we have in Canada and North America, which of course is Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is early October, Moon Festival is the end of September, so both are often regarded as kind of harvest festivals. As for the lore involved, there's a few really nice and interesting stories that I did a little bit of research on. So the first would be the rabbit on the moon living in the Jade Palace. So the story there is the Jade Emperor actually came down to Earth and disguised himself as a common beggar looking for food. So he approached three animals in the forest, a monkey, a fox, and a rabbit. And he asked each of these animals if they could please give him some food to eat because he was hungry. So the monkey, of course, went up into the trees, brought him a bunch of fruit, bananas, things like that. The fox went down to the river and caught a few fish to give to the beggar. And the rabbit, unfortunately, couldn't find any food on the forest floor. All he knew how to do was eat grass. So he came back and he felt ashamed. And what he did was he threw himself onto the fire in front of the beggar and said, "You can eat my body instead." Now, the Jade Emperor was so impressed by the selflessness of the rabbit that he actually rescued the rabbit from the fire and then brought him up to the moon and let him live in the Jade Palace. And he has a very special job, which is to, using a mortar and pestle, pound an elixir, which supposedly is an immortality potion. So to be trusted with that kind of task is a very honorable position. And so many Taiwanese and many temples will actually give kind of thanks and respect to the Jade Rabbit living on the moon. Okay, there's some commotion here. So you can obviously see the importance of this festival all around me. Plenty of delicious food and lots of important festivities. As I said, people coming together. I see families walking around, lots of feasts, all in celebration of Moon Festival. This is really nice to see. So next, I'm going to talk about a few taboos, things that you should never do during Moon Festival. And then after that, I'm actually going to try the famous snack that everyone eats during this holiday, which are of course mooncakes. As far as the taboos are concerned, a lot of them make quite a bit of sense. So for example, on this weekend, you should avoid family conflicts. I guess maybe that came about because the families tend to get together on this weekend, so you should do everything you can not to have a spat with your family. Next one is to avoid seeing a doctor this weekend. So unless it's something very, very serious, just don't go see your doctor, because apparently if you go see your doctor this weekend, then whatever illness you have will continue for the rest of the year. Next one, this is another interesting superstition, I might say, which is don't let the bottom of your rice pot go empty. So make sure that there is always rice in your rice pot, because if the gods can see that your rice pot is empty, that's a bad omen. Another one, avoid dreary places, because that's where the ghosts can lie and come out and get you, I guess. This one, I'm not sure, because I went to the most famous mooncake bakery in Kaohsiung, and it was definitely in a dreary area. Also very, very interesting. I can't wait to try the mooncake that I got there. So next one, don't lend out money, because if you lend out money, that also means that you're lending the borrower some of your luck. So again, this all comes back to family, right? Maybe on a family get together, maybe don't go to your uncle and say, hey, can I borrow some money? Yeah, don't borrow money. And then the last one, which is probably the one I've heard the most throughout my time here in Taiwan, and that is do not, under any condition, point at the moon. So even if the moon is full and bright and beautiful, do not point at the moon. And if you do, the consequences are that sometime within the next couple of days, your ear will actually be cut. And weirdly enough, I've actually had this experience. I remember last summer, the moon was so bright, and I looked up and I said, wow, look at the moon. And she said, my girlfriend said, no, don't point at the moon. Something bad is gonna happen to your ear. Sure enough, I'm not joking, a few days later, what's that? And somehow I cut my ear. I don't remember cutting my ear, and all I could think was, wow, she literally told me that would happen like 2 days ago. Okay, and as promised, the last section of this video, I'm gonna be trying some mooncakes. So the story behind these, I was looking on Google Maps. There was one in particular that apparently has been around for decades here in Kaohsiung. And it took me a while to find it, and that's because it was actually hidden deep within this alley. But it was dark, it was dingy, I wasn't even sure that I was in the right place. So it was 60 NT per mooncake, but I'm gonna try this. I never eat mooncakes. Sometimes I find the Taiwanese desserts like this a little bit flaky and dry, but the reviews said that this is one of the best ones that you can buy. So here we go. Basically my first time eating a real professional, proper mooncake. Okay, that is surprisingly nice. As you saw, it's very, very flaky. I'm glad I'm eating this outside. I wouldn't want all these little flakes, you know, showing up on my apartment floor. But that's really tasty. It's a little bit buttery, I would say. Really, really nice filling there. It almost tastes to me a little bit like red bean and pork. I'm pleasantly surprised. That's quite good. Okay, so I did get a couple varieties. This one looks a little bit different, quite a bit more round. And I should mention that that's one of the reasons why they eat mooncakes for this festival, because in Asian culture or Taiwanese culture, roundness represents togetherness and families coming together. So it's kind of a symbol of good luck. This one looks really beautiful. Kind of gold on the top. I can see some black sesames there. And I think she told me that this was a salted egg mooncake. Let's give it a try. Wow, this one is completely different. I would definitely say maybe red bean and egg yolk as well, but it's got kind of a deeper flavor somehow. And that egg, look how big that yolk is. That is so cool. And I'm not sure if you've ever had salted egg before. It's just got a very yolky flavor, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm starting to remember how dry these can be. They're really delicious, but it would be great if I had a glass of milk or some tea or something like that. But yeah, I really enjoy that. That's absolutely delicious. Really nice experience. I would say that I'm having a very, very nice moon festival this evening. And thank you guys for watching this video. Just a Canadian trying to figure out what Moon Festival is all about here in Taiwan. If you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I just think living in Taiwan, I'm always going to be surprised by something new. It doesn't really matter how many years go by. And of course, I am very thankful for my audience and for people who enjoy my videos. So thank you very much for sticking around and continuing to watch. And I'm going to probably find a drink of water somewhere around here. So with that, I'll see you in the next one. Happy Moon Festival, everybody.